Alright, what is going on, everyone? I am Braxton, and this is BWC Racing. This is course A2, inside car footage. The last video, of course, was outside car footage on my spotter Brett's helmet. Yeah, this course, it was something. If you watched the last video, you know the insight for the most part, but you don't know how I felt in the obstacles, so that's the objective of this video, is to give you some insight on how I felt, how the car felt, compared to how it looked. Getting started here on this first gate, it looked a lot harder than it ended up being, honestly, because it was this gate that had a crack on the passenger side where the passenger side tire is currently, and then it was a straight down, and if the tire were to slip on the rear driver's side, it would slip into the cone. As you see, got past it, no problem. Turned a hard driver to get to gate 2, and gate 2 was a killer. Oh my lord. Dude, it was crazy. Like, ugh, it was difficult, to say the least. Now, it is a pretty steep gate, and it was pretty off camber. It wasn't quite enough to get me uncomfortable until the entire car stood up straight, which you'll see maybe like 2 minutes or so. But it was a gate. I mean, like, if we were able to go on it straight on, and we would have gone up and flipped around and came back down, I think we could have probably hit it first try. But we ended up just staying high enough, but then it slipped off and went too low. So I'm going to get like this and get real uncomfy here. I'm out looking through these panels that are pretty much perfectly clear. I mean, the wrap company, it's a pretty good wrap for being as clear as it is, and it's sticking. So I'm pretty happy with the wrap. I mean, you can see through it perfectly right here. It's like there's not even a wrap on it. It's beautiful. So I'm able to look out that door and look at the cone and see where we are. But you can see it's just slipping and bouncing. It's just not working the way we want it to. Yeah, I mean, we're going to take a few attempts here, taking a reverse here. This is one of 3 reverses for this obstacle. And oh boy, does it get exciting. We do waste quite a bit of time on this. We waste 5 minutes. A whole 5 minutes for a second gate. That is the most time we waste at all. This is the closest course to time relevance for the weekend. Like, overall, the weekend was fantastic. I am so proud and happy about how we did. Honestly, it is fantastic. You'll see right here, it's stand up on its end, and I'm like, nope. But from the outside of the car, it looked fine. Well, it didn't look fine, because it, like, lifted way up there. Probably 10 feet off the ground. But I was like, I probably would have been fine if I would have just let it settle. And then drive forward, and the front tire would have fell back in. So I think it would have worked out if I would have left it, and would have worked out better. But that freaked me out. I was like, oh, here we go. Which, honestly, that was the first time I freaked out the entire weekend. Like, I mean, and even on later on this course, not yet. But I rolled it over. I don't want to say like rolled it over, but like I ended up on its side once this weekend. So, and you'll see that in a future video. Day 2 is when you'll see that one. So another week or so. I believe this is our last attempt at this obstacle, and we're just gonna throw it. Full throttle, pretty much. Maybe 3/4 throttle. But we're just gonna throw it. I missed a gear. Oh, whop. Right there, up at the top. Taking the cone, though, to get up there. So that's unfortunate. But we're gonna head over to gate 3 with about 4 minutes left. 3 minutes left, actually, and it is not a lot of time at all. That is, well, it's a lot of time, but it's not how do I say this? It's a lot of time if the course was shorter and we were like already at gate 3. You know, so right here we've got 3 minutes left or so, maybe 2:30. But we're gonna struggle on this as well, which I think it's just because we were flustered. Because, like, right here, if I would have stayed a little bit more passenger instead of letting it fall in, I think we probably could have made it, but we were in such a hurry that we ended up taking this cone too, unfortunately. And it was just not a good set for this third gate. Hitting a rock here, hard with the front diff, but it doesn't really matter all that much. And unfortunately, right here, I missed the rock. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm taking another reverse, trying to just pull it forward through it, but it's not working. We're going to take a reverse here, and then you'll see it just plop. This isn't where it like actually rolls over, though. If this actually went exactly how I planned it would, is those two tires lifted and it just pivoted perfectly, and I was like, sweet, that worked great, just beautiful. We're gonna get to gate 4. I don't know how long we have left, but I am in a hurry to get through this gate. Now I do want to say I'm wearing a hoodie underneath my fire suit because it was cold in Cedar City this weekend. It was like 30s and 40s at night and 60s during the day. Like, it was great weather for a comp, but overall, it was cold compared to what I was used to. Because back home in southern Utah, well, more southern Utah, like St. George, Hurricane area, it was already in the 80s and 90s. And we were like, why is it so hot so soon? But we ended up pulling out of the gate 9:53 total time. No, 9:06. 9:06, 9:07 total time with a positive 15. So it wasn't terrible. It wasn't a terrible course. I mean, it could have been better. But, you know, that happens. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.